From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Good Friday morning. We still have the one wildfire burning within the viewing area, the Williams Mine Fire that's burning to the southwest, it's burning in southwestern Yakima County. It's burning directly to the south of Mount Adams. And interestingly enough, we do have a couple active hotspots that have popped up on the map. We haven't seen this over the past couple days, so this really underscores the hot and dry weather that we had yesterday, and it's about to get hotter and drier as we head into the weekend. But this thing is still 31% contained. Acreage, official acreage didn't change compared to yesterday, but I have a feeling that's going to change. Okay, temperatures right now in the 40s and 50s, 50 for the Tri-Cities, 46 degrees for Sunnyside. So again, it's going to be some light jacket kind of weather as you're headed out the front door. The bottom line for the forecast is that will be a little bit warmer for today as opposed to yesterday, turning much hotter into Labor Day week. And also there's a very small chance for a thunderstorm on Labor Day proper. But yeah, we do have heat advisories posted for Saturday and for Sunday. But first we have to deal with what's going to be a pretty toasty day for today. I'll tell you just how toasty coming up on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
Straight ahead on Good Morning Northwest, crews responding to an RV that catches fire on fire in Kennewick. Why traffic had to be stopped across the street, plus what safety tips officials are reminding the public about.
The man accused of killing 4 University of Idaho students was back in court. We have the update on the Brian Koberger case.
And still ahead, Labor Day weekend travel is in full swing, with today being extremely busy for airports all across the nation. Plus, how gas prices are faring this year. We have everything you need to know to prepare. Good Morning Northwest starts right now.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good Morning Northwest, on your side.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica Jalal.
And I'm Jill Sperling. It is Friday, August 30th. We are at the Labor Day weekend.
We made it. It's going to be Labor Day. Do you have any fun plans this weekend?
I'm not going to be traveling, I'll tell you that. It sounds a little crazy out on the roads and at the airports. I'll be sticking close to home.
Me too, and we'll have more information on that later. But we're going to start off in Sunnyside this morning. The city is facing a $4 million deficit.
And now a city council member is pointing the finger at Sunnyside's mayor. At this week's city council meeting, council member Vicky Frausto brought forward a proposition of no faith in the city's current mayor, Dean Broersma.
She says it's because he allowed a budget to be passed despite it being in a $4 million deficit.
So when we met on Saturday, there were some comments made by Mayor Broersma that just didn't sit well with me. As a matter of fact, I had called for a recess because I was that infuriated. One of those comments was, we chose to kick the can down the road because we knew new council was going to come in and was going to be able to deal with this mess. I find that troubling. I find that as a malpractice of leadership. I don't find integrity at all, and I don't find responsibility in that.
By the end of the meeting, the proposition passed 4-3.
No final decision has been made, but we will keep you posted.
In Kennewick, fire crews responded to reports of an RV on fire that was spreading to nearby trees.
This happened yesterday just before 7 p.m. at 117 South Washington Street. Crews got the fire under control within 9 minutes. KFD says no one was inside the home. Firefighters had traffic temporarily blocked to prevent people from driving over the fire hose, which stretched across Washington Street to attach to the closest fire hydrant.
It's always good to have a hose from your domestic water supply or a fire extinguisher or a bucket so that you can quickly extinguish any fire that gets out of control. We're moving into a warm, dry weekend, so we worry about winds or embers blowing into dry grass. So again, just having some tools available to quickly extinguish a fire.
KFD is reminding people to not drive over fire hoses because it could cause the hose to burst and stop the flow of water. It could also injure people, and fire hydrants and engines can become damaged and unusable if a hose gets torn off.
No one was injured, and the cause of the fire is under investigation.
Now to another fire in Kennewick. While crews were removing smoldering items from the RV fire, they received a call about a dumpster fire a few blocks away at 11 North Auburn Street. 2 of the crews from the RV fire responded to the dumpster fire, and they were able to put it out quickly.
We have an update now on the bus that landed in a Richland yard after taking down a traffic light Wednesday night.
It happened on Thayer and Lee Boulevard. The Richland Police Department says the crash happened when the bus was struck by another vehicle.
RPD considers it a hit and run, and they were able to find and arrest that driver. This bus crash happened in the new Ben Franklin Transit CEO's first week.
He was going up the hill, so he could not see. The bus had the green light and was coming across. The car ran the red light, struck our bus, which then pushed us into the light pole and then onto the private property.
RPD says the bus driver had minor cuts and shoulder pain after the crash, and there were no passengers on board at the time.
Crews were on the scene yesterday morning working to repair the signal, which delayed the morning commute around Richland High School and Carmichael Middle School, turning the signal into a four-way stop.
Ben Franklin Transit's new Chief Executive Officer, Thomas Drost, has worked all sorts of jobs in transit all over the country. He's still getting the lay of the land, but he says with his experience, he's ready to take on the challenge.
Apple Valley News Now's Riley Fitzgerald talked to him about what he hopes for as he takes the reins.
Thomas Drost still remembers the date he started in transit.
February 24th, 1999, that was my first day in this industry. Started out as a bus operator, and then just over the 25 years, I promoted from bus operator to supervisor and dispatcher and manager. And then from there, my career grew.
He's worked in mostly metropolitan areas in the past, Atlanta, Los Angeles, and Phoenix. Now he's turning the Tri-Cities into his home. And as far as the job goes,
I see that it has great bones, great structure. I see the workforce as being very knowledgeable. I just in speaking to many of the folks here at Ben Franklin, very personable, very welcoming. Some of the challenges I see, nothing specific, but I don't see any challenge that we can't overcome in comparison to maybe some of the other agencies that I've been at, where it's a little bit bigger, a little bit more complex.
Drost says he's managed agencies with anywhere from 200 to 2,000 employees, and in 25 years in transit, BFT, with around 400 employees, may be one of these smaller transit agencies he's been a part of, but that makes the connections and relationships all the better.
I'm definitely happy to be here at Ben Franklin Transit. I've definitely been pleasantly surprised at what has fell into my lap related to the agency, the facilities, and most importantly, the workforce.
123 northbound.
When he looks at the Tri-Cities, Drost says he sees a breath of fresh air. In Kennewick, I'm Riley Fitzgerald with Apple Valley News Now.
BFT services nearly 1,000 bus stops and has more than 400 employees classified in the small category for transit agencies.
Well, we told you about the listeria outbreak from the Boar's Head Deli Meats. Well, the facility the contamination is potentially stemming from was found to have bugs and mold. We have the details coming up.
But first, Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth will have your weather forecast. Good morning, Northwest. We'll be right back.
Craving our world-famous hand-rolled crisp burritos with creamy, bacony, chipotle, smoky goodness? Try our new smoky pork crisp burrito for a limited time. When you know what you want, anytime is taco time.
The biggest mattress event of the year is on now at More Furniture. Right now, it's the perfect opportunity to get that Tempur-Pedic you've been eyeing. We'll make it easy. During our Labor Day event, get 72 months interest-free financing with 72 equal monthly payments, absolutely no interest and no money down. And we'll provide white glove delivery and removal of your old mattress absolutely free. Visit your local showroom or shop all Labor Day specials online at morefurniture.com.
This summer, turn moments into lifelong memories with Broadmoor RV. Feel the thrill of adventure and the warmth of togetherness. Explore the great outdoors with the comfort of home, and let every adventure become a story worth sharing. Broadmoor RV, we make camping fun.
Why do you Goodwill? Well, there are countless reasons.
Goodwill makes it easy to support my ongoing creative projects at home with their affordable items.
To be environmentally friendly through upcycling, reusing, and recycling.
For the chance to uncover brand new items at unbelievable prices.
Goodwill means being economical with my money.
With hundreds of reasons to shop at Goodwill, you can feel great about knowing 95.7 cents of every dollar you spend helps your community. Goodwill. Donate, shop, impact locally.
The White Card, a powerful resource for former Hanford and DOE employees. If you worked in the area and have come down with cancer, lung disease, Parkinson's, or renal failure, you may be eligible for financial compensation and healthcare services. A simple phone call can get the process started. Atomic Home Health. Don't wait. Call today.
Craving our world-famous hand-rolled crisp burritos with creamy, bacony, chipotle, smoky goodness? Try our new smoky pork crisp burrito for a limited time. When you know what you want, anytime is taco time.
Get ready for Football Friday when College Game Day comes early to GMA. It's going to be a party in Texas with the Texas A&M Yell Leaders hyping you up Labor Day weekend. Plus, dads, daughters, and football. What could be better than that? It's Football Friday this morning on GMA.
Good Morning Northwest streams all day at AppleValleyNewsNow.com and our mobile apps. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colberth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Here's a current look at all the smoke within the region, and most of it is posted off towards our east in Idaho. It's some pretty light stuff right now. Where it is in our viewing area, it's pretty light, and Walla Walla and Umatilla County. So let's go ahead and show you what happens with all of this throughout the rest of today. And it's really mostly going to stay out of our viewing area. Air quality should be pretty good, but then into the late night, we could get some slightly thicker smoke starting to approach from the south and from the east. And then into tomorrow, we could have some more light haze in the portions of the foothills, the Blues, also the lower Columbia Basin. But I'm thinking overall, over the next couple of days, air quality will not be that big of a concern at all. Here's your CoCast for today for the Tri-Cities. Light jacket stuff for this morning, but I'm thinking by the time we get to 9, 10, 11 o'clock, it's going to be t-shirt weather, and then it is going to be very toasty after that, as it will be a few degrees above average for this time of the year. Most of us ending up right around 90 degrees, but these numbers are set to go up over the weekend. So I'll tell you just how hot we get. Also, I'll show you some little thunderstorm chances in the picture, and I'll tell you if that'll impact your plans for Labor Day. So all that's going to be coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. A major alert for consumers this morning as a deli meat recall remains in effect for listeria contamination. Dozens have gotten sick, and in some cases, people have died. Americans are advised to take a close look inside their refrigerators because officials fear the contaminated products may still be in some kitchens. John Lawrence reports.
Jarrett, Virginia, the epicenter of the largest listeria outbreak the U.S. has seen in more than a decade.
Same. People losing lives for nothing.
The source of the outbreak? Deli meat from this Boar's Head plant. The Department of Agriculture reports 69 non-compliances at that facility within the past year, where inspectors say they found mold, insects, both dead and alive, as well as puddles of blood on the floor.
They've been around the clock working, I guess, trying to fix it up and settle the problem, but it shouldn't have been a problem to begin with.
The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says at least 57 people have been hospitalized in 18 states due to infection. 9 are confirmed dead. Boar's Head recalled more than 7 million pounds of its meats, primarily liverwurst, but also ham, sausage, bologna, hot dogs, and bacon. The company has paused production at the Virginia plant, saying in a statement, quote, "We deeply regret the impact this recall has had on affected families."
Hopefully they get under control.
Boar's Head officials also say they're working to prevent this from happening again. In the meantime, some retailers, like this one in Norfolk, are going elsewhere for now.
Actually, we replaced it with some good premium meat. As things settles down and Boar's Head clears it up, yeah, we will use it again.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Consumers who find these potentially infected products should return them to where they were bought or throw them away. Well, a new FDA rule will require retailers to check the ID of any tobacco product for buyers under the age of 30. This has gone up from the previous age limit of 27. The FDA says its final rule also restricts tobacco vending machine sales to places limited to people 21 and older. The agency said the main goal of the changes is to make it more difficult for underage people to get access to these products. The new ID and vending machine limits will go into effect on September 30th. Up next on Good Morning Northwest, as Election Day approaches, the United States Postal Service is outlining new plans to make sure everyone's ballots are mailed securely. Details are coming up.
Say less, get more. Buy one, get one for $1. Choose from Bacon McDouble, McChicken, McDouble, or Hot and Spicy McChicken. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
No matter what roads lead you home, McCurley Mazda is about to make your journey even better. Whether it's cruising riverside highways, winding vineyard trails, or anywhere else your travels take you, now is the perfect time to upgrade your way home. Visit McCurley in the Pasco Autoplex today for this special offer.
Find your way home in a new 2024 Mazda with 0% financing from McCurley Mazda.
The best bulls in the world have come to town. For bull riders, 8 seconds can make them a champion or nothing. It's bull time. Kennewick. Get your tickets now at pbr.com/tickets or Ticketmaster.
It's time to get moving with the stunningly versatile, best-in-class 2025 Carnival MPV that seats 8 from Overturf Kia. Plus, get 6.9% interest for up to 72 months. Shop online anytime at overturfkia.com. That's overturfkia.com. Overturf Kia at the base of the Blue Bridge in Kennewick.
Save now with Cascade Farm and Outdoors' latest mailer. Watch for it in your mailbox or pick up a copy in store. It's the perfect time to get the perfect pair of jeans. Save now on women's premium jeans. Stock up on Golden Fire or Lignetic's 40-pound stove fuel pellets. Plus, compare and save on Nutrina NatureWise 40-pound layer feed crumbles or pellets on sale now. Reap big savings store-wide with our latest mailer at Cascade Farm and Outdoor. Northwest, homegrown, honest values.
Taking the time to savor Thomas's crunchy yet soft bagels.
Thanks, Tom.
It's Tom, actually.
Right, Tom.
Tom. You doing that on purpose?
Tam.
Tam.
How have we got to Tam? Huzzah! A toast to breakfast.
Hash browns are the French fries of breakfast.
Who says it's not French fries that are the hash browns of lunch and dinner?
That's also true.
BOGO for $1. Choose from a sausage McMuffin, burrito, McGriddles, biscuit, or hash browns. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Every locally broadcast game, the Seattle Kraken, all season long on Apple Valley News Now. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Right now you're taking a live look at Kennewick. This view coming courtesy of Health First. This camera right atop our studios here in Kennewick. Not really seeing much out there for this morning. A little bit later today, it's going to be toasty out there. We'll end up near 90 degrees, a few degrees above average for this time of the year. Plenty of sunshine. Wind should be pretty light. Air quality should be pretty good. And then for tonight, we'll continue to have pretty clear skies. Overnight lows dropping down into the 50s and 60s. Winds stay pretty light. So overall, it's going to be some pretty nice weather for tonight, just like it's going to be for today. Okay, we get even hotter into Saturday, near 95 for the Tri-Cities, and then likely this will peak near 100 by Sunday. But look at what happens into next week. Our highs hold pretty steady. A little bit cooler for Monday and Tuesday, but warming up again for Wednesday and Thursday. So we're going to have this sustained period of hot and dry weather, which is going to bode not well for a fire start potential. But before we get to that, I just wanted to touch on this heat advisory that we have in place for the valleys, basin, and foothills from 11 a.m. tomorrow to 9 p.m. on Sunday evening. And then for the eastern slopes of the Cascades and for the southern Blue Mountains, this is just for Sunday and it runs from 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. So please, if you're going to be outside this weekend, we know this is a big outdoor weekend of sorts. So, you know, just stay hydrated, take breaks from the sunshine, stay in the shade, and try to stay in AC if you can. Okay. with us establishing that it's going to be hot and dry in the run-up to Labor Day weekend, or to Labor Day proper, there is a little thunderstorm chance for Labor Day, specifically up in the Blue Mountains. So we will track that fire start potential very, very closely. Here's the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. We'll have haze and heat increasing for Saturday, near 100 for Sunday, staying in the 90s afterwards. Then for Yakima, highs peaking in the mid-90s for Sunday, cooler with a small shower chance for Labor Day. Then for Ellensburg, near 100 for Sunday, cooler with breezes picking up for Monday and Tuesday. Then for Hermiston, likely hitting 100 this weekend, low to mid-90s for Monday through Thursday. Then for Walla Walla, hot and dry through Sunday, cooling off with small shower chances for Monday and Tuesday.
Thank you, Josh. In your political news, as the 2024 general election approaches, the United States Postal Service is outlining its security plans. The agency says it's working to improve the safe delivery of mail-in ballots close to or on Election Day. Those efforts include additional pickups, extra deliveries, and special mail sort plans to expedite ballot delivery. The USPS says this will begin starting in late October. Lastly, the U.S. Postal Inspection Service plans to implement rigorous security protocols and monitoring for potential threats. In more political news, former President Donald Trump is trying to move his hush money case to federal court. In a petition filed yesterday, Trump's attorneys argued he's entitled to a federal review in the wake of the Supreme Court's recent decision on presidential immunity. They previously asked the judge who oversaw the case to vacate the conviction, arguing evidence of a president's official acts should not have been used in the trial. In the new filing, Trump's legal team also asks the federal court to confirm that Trump cannot be sentenced while litigation over the removal is pending. Trump is scheduled to be sentenced on September 18th for his conviction on 34 counts of falsifying business records. The U.S. Army releases a statement regarding President Trump's actually, we will have more on that later, but coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, we'll have a familiar face from Dancing with the Stars who has been arrested on suspicion of felony domestic violence. And we have that story coming up in your entertainment.
Is that house-made guac going on a Carl's Jr. burger? Smooth, zesty, charbroiled beefy, melting pepper jack, cheesy, saucy temptation, crisp bacon too. I give. Give in to the guac bacon burger, only at Carl's Jr. Big burger.
Good burger.
Labor Day is finally here. It's our biggest savings event of the year, and you'll find huge savings on our newest fall arrivals for every room in your home. During the Labor Day event, you'll get a full 60 months to pay with absolutely no interest and no money down. Or for cash purchases, we'll subtract the tax. Join us this Labor Day weekend with special hours Friday and Saturday, 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. Hurry in to your local More Furniture showroom for the best selection.
A lot is changing in our community right now. New roads, new schools, and new opportunities. We're growing, and that means there are more cars on our streets than ever before. That's why we're expanding our facilities and services. So no matter what roads lie ahead, you'll always find your way home.
As part of Wheels Make Wishes Come True, a generous portion of every vehicle sold will be donated to help local kids.
Hi, I'm Catherine Forner, and we love our own backyard so much, we built all of this. With hardwood decking and basalite pavers. And we just finished this deck for one of our best customers. With TimberTech decking and Fortress railing. And we get everything we need from Par. With Shauna's help.
Everything from design to delivery.
What would we do without you?
Par, your total home building source since 1930. Go where the builders go.
What are you gonna build?
Watch me. Watch me tumble, jump, and soar. When our squad is on point, we own the floor. Dazzling stunts and dances are my jam. Pain once caused issues, but they had a plan. A life-changing brace with no surgery to fear. Activity without limits, one more reason to cheer. Watch me. Industry-leading scoliosis treatment at Shriners Children's. The most amazing care anywhere.
Is that house-made guac going on a Carl's Jr. burger? Smooth, zesty, charbroiled beefy, melting pepper jack, cheesy, saucy temptation, crisp bacon too. I give. Give in to the guac bacon burger, only at Carl's Jr. Big burger.
Good burger.
Good Morning Northwest streams all day at AppleValleyNewsNow.com and our mobile apps.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. In entertainment news, a familiar face from Dancing with the Stars has a lot more than choreography on his mind this morning.
The married father of one has been arrested on suspicion of felony domestic violence.
He's known for his moves in the ballroom, but this morning, Dancing with the Stars pro Artem Shivinchev is out on bail. The 42-year-old arrested yesterday on suspicion of felony domestic violence, handcuffed and booked by police in Napa County, California. Bail was set at $25,000. The Russian-born dancer has competed on 12 seasons of Dancing with the Stars, where he met his wife, former WWE wrestler Nikki Garcia. The couple were on-air partners.
I do feel a little intimidated being in this ring right now.
The pair, married in 2022, share a 4-year-old son and just this week commemorated their 2nd anniversary. Shivinchev posting, "Happy anniversary, my love. Can't see my life without you. You are my everything." It was not immediately known whether or not Garcia, the star of the reality show Total Bellas, was involved in the alleged altercation. Andrew.
We're learning more about a terror plot for a Taylor Swift concert in Vienna this month. The deputy director of the CIA, David Cohen, says the agency alerted Austrian authorities about the planned ISIS-inspired attack. According to Cohen, the suspects were plotting to kill tens of thousands of people at Swift's concert. 4 people were arrested in connection with the plot.
Some were reportedly found with bomb-making materials and had access to the concert venue. Officials said one of the men, a 19-year-old Austrian, had pledged allegiance to ISIS. They said he had focused on Swift's tour as a target. The terror threat forced Swift to cancel her concerts in Vienna.
Up next on Good Morning Northwest at 5:30, Pasco's annual Fiery Foods Festival is just around the corner, and organizers want to make this year bigger than ever. So they're adding something new, and we'll tell you what in a few minutes.
Speaking of food, a popular chicken and churro place is making its way to the Tri-Cities. We hear from the owner and get a look at plans for the new location. It's all in the next half hour, but first, here are your Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, Verizon is the next service provider to launch satellite messaging. Starting this fall, certain smartphones can send emergency messages or share locations via satellite. Verizon says there won't be any additional cost for the service. Next, new evidence of the growing use of chatbots. OpenAI says more than 200 million people use its ChatGPT every week, more than double the number reported last November. One reason for the growth, more than 90% of Fortune 500 companies use OpenAI products. Finally, Apple's sports app is gearing up for football. New this season, fans will be able to see scores and other information about their favorite NFL and college teams from the lock screen. They will also be able to see the ball's current position on the field. Those are your Tech Bites. I'm Allison Cossack. Have a great day.
Hey, I'll give you $574 if you switch.
For an ice cream? Okay.
So what about $574 for switching your home insurance to Allstate?
Tempting, but that's way too much of a hassle.
Actually, it's not. Allstate can handle the switching for you. Just call them.
But it's easy and I could save?
And you get Allstate.
Like a cherry on top.
Oh, you brought your own.
Check Allstate first and you could save hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Your hair can grow 590 miles over your lifetime. It's in your nature to grow. Nature's Bounty helps you grow thicker, fuller hair with just 1 capsule a day. You are bountiful. It's in your nature. Nature's Bounty.
To stay on top of my game, I need to keep up my energy.
Cliff Bar is purposely crafted with 10 grams of protein and organic oats.
Because the more good you put in, the more great you get out.
Cliff, the most important ingredient is you.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good Morning Northwest on your side.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica Jalal.
I'm Jill Sperling.
And I'm Josh Colbert.
It's the start of the Labor Day long weekend. It's also the start of college football, I think, this weekend.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, you're excited.
You're the college football fan.
Yes,
so that'll be your plans for Labor Day.
Yeah, there are games on Saturday and Sunday and Monday. There were games last night. There are games tonight. So
Games every day.
I'm not leaving my apartment.
Not traveling like everyone else.
No. Yeah. Do y'all have plans for Labor Day weekend?
Nope. Gonna stay close to home, avoid the traffic.
Maybe some last-minute spontaneous plans will pop up, but nothing right now.
Yeah.
Sure. Well, we might be doing different things, but it all sounds like we're kind of doing the same thing. Staying in. Yeah. And staying in, not the worst idea on the planet for this weekend, as it is going to be pretty hot out there. We do have heat advisories that are in place specifically for Saturday and Sunday. We'll have more on that in a second, but first you're taking a live, beautiful look at Yakima for this morning. This view coming courtesy of Bi-Mart. Not seeing much in the sky. Temperatures this morning in the 40s and 50s, just like they've been over the past couple of mornings. A little bit warmer compared to yesterday morning. We're at 45 for Sunnyside. And a little bit later today, we're going to be up around at 90 for most spots within the viewing area. This will place us at a few degrees above average for this time of the year. Plenty of sunshine, but will turn even hotter as we head into Saturday and Sunday, which is why heat advisories have been posted for the eastern slopes of the Cascades and for the southern Blues. That's just for Sunday, but for the Kittitas Valley, Yakima Valley, for the lower Columbia Basin, foothills of the Blues, that goes for both Saturday and for Sunday. So here's some tips to stay safe in the heat. If you're going to walk the pets, do that earlier in the morning. Of course, keep the kids hydrated. Keep yourself hydrated if you're going to be working outside. Find plenty of shade and check on those vulnerable populations, specifically the elderly. And I'll show you what all this hot and dry weather is going to do to our vegetation, and I'll touch on that fire start potential. All that coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. The man accused in the killings of 4 University of Idaho students was back in court yesterday.
This as attorneys for Brian Kohberger pushed to have his trial moved out of Latah County. Kohberger's attorneys argue that finding an unbiased jury in the close-knit college town of Moscow is nearly impossible. They want the trial held about 300 miles away in Boise. The defense says Latah County has received more media coverage on this case than any other county in the state.
And they argue this overload of media coverage has corrupted prospective jurors to presume Kohberger to be guilty before the trial begins.
And the right to a fair trial cannot happen in Latah County. There is way too much media coverage. It is biased media coverage. It has impacted the potential juror, and it causes bias in the potential juror.
The prosecution, on the other hand, says there has been media coverage of this case everywhere. Boise is not an exception.
The fact is, Your Honor, this case has media coverage everywhere. That is something that was acknowledged by the defense, and that is something that is abundantly clear in these surveys.
The trial, which could see Kohberger face the death penalty, is set to begin in June of 2025.
Kohberger has pleaded not guilty to 4 counts of first-degree murder.
An announcement from the Natchez Fire Department.
It has been selected to receive a FEMA Assistance to Firefighters grant for all new air packs. The self-contained breathing apparatus are what allows them to enter burning structures and hazardous environments.
Firefighters say the current packs are compliant with standards from the year 2002, and there have been significant advancements in the technology over the last 20 years. 2 other fire districts across the state will also be granted funding. The total grant award for all 3 districts is over $690,000.
A local small business that started off in Grandview has now made its way to the Tri-Cities.
Apple Valley News Now's Monique Ledesma reports what business this is and when it's set to open.
I sat down with the owner of Javi's Chicken and Churros, Francisco Javier Gonzalez, and he says his culture influenced the start of his business.
You know, you grow up in a Mexican family, you learn how to like barbecue, learn recipes from, you know, your parents and stuff, and I've always loved cooking.
Aside from his Grandview and Sunnyside location, Gonzalez says Tri-Cities was always a goal for him to have his restaurant in.
Tri-Cities was always my first choice. It was just very expensive to get into this market, you know, but luckily I was able to find this location, and it was actually in the city that I really wanted to be in Pasco, you know, just because, you know, it has the bigger population of Hispanics.
Gonzalez says although he now has 3 different locations, it didn't come within a blink of an eye.
When we first bought the spot in Sunnyside, we were going to start remodeling, and then COVID hit, so then we had to stop for like almost a year, and we were just kind of carrying, you know, the contract for that, and not making too much money. So we did get really lucky with the Grandview community, though. They really helped us out.
Gonzalez says what helps him keep pushing forward is his legacy and family.
I think just the passion of this. I feel like this brand, the Javi's Chicken and Churros brand, is starting to kind of take off, and I know in the end it's going to pay off. I mean, I have 3 little kids too that, I want them to have a good work ethic. My oldest one, he's 8 years old, and he loves helping out around the restaurant whenever he's not in school or whatever. He's always like, let's go to the restaurant, let's go help customers and stuff. So I don't know. I feel like it's like a family, kind of like business.
Gonzalez says for anyone thinking to open a business, you only miss the shots you don't take.
At least try it. It's better if you try it. Even if you fail, you're never gonna live with the doubt that I could have done that or I could have done this.
Gonzalez says he plans on opening his new location by the end of September. Reporting in Pasco, Monique Ledesma, Apple Valley News Now.
Gonzalez says he's already working on his next addition to his business with his cousin, which is a series of food trucks, and one is being built right now called Javi's Food Truck.
The City of Pasco's annual Fiery Foods Festival is just around the corner.
Pasco officials say they want to make the event even bigger this year, so they'll be adding in a new challenge. And the challenge is a taco eating contest to see who can eat the most tacos in 5 minutes. Registrations will open next week.
The city also says that spots are limited, though, and you have to be at least 18 years old to participate.
We are taking 8 registrants. What we're going to do is we're going to create a list of however many people sign up, and then we will randomly select 8 people to do the contest.
Also new this year, a beer garden, and the City of Pasco will be selling festival swag to help fund next year's festival. And at 12:45 on Saturday, the 14th, is the VIP pepper eating contest. We won't be doing it, but you can watch our Riley Fitzgerald and Monique Ledesma as they take part. Tri-City Treasures Thrift Store and the Highway Church of God is hosting a free back-to-school clothing event on Monday, Labor Day.
From 10 to 3 p.m. at 2715 West 7th Avenue off of US 395, there will be gently used clothes for free, along with some school supplies, toiletries, and shoes.
The Highway Church's women's ministry has been meeting this week to fold the clothes and get them ready for the giveaway. Church officials say it's open to all.
Anybody that can come, anybody that is in need of clothes or back to school supplies. Everything's so expensive right now, so any way we can help that way to reach out and take that burden off people.
Tri-City Treasures Thrift Store in Kennewick donated most of the clothes, along with many people who reached out who had clothing to drop off. Again, that's this Monday from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Highway Church in Kennewick.
Coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, today is a busy travel day with Labor Day weekend in full swing. We have a look at how gas prices are faring and what you need to know if you're flying.
Plus, Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth will have your weather forecast. We'll be right back.
An awesome water skiing adventure. Fly the Northwest, Tuesday at 6.
It only happens once a year. Steve Hunt Kia's summer clearance sale. So don't get stuck in the slush. Bring any trade, even if you owe thousands more than it's worth. Can take advantage of Steve Hunt all-wheel drive sale. All with 0 down, 0 payments for 90 days. Steve Hunt Kia.com.
Save now with Buy Mart's latest savings book, arriving in your mailbox this week, or pick up a copy in store. Save $7 on Fruit of the Loom hooded sweatshirts, hot priced at just $11.99. Mobile One 5-quart high mileage synthetic oil is just $24.99. Papa Nicholas Coffee 80-count single-serve cups are $7 off. Plus save on Planters cashews and deluxe mixed nuts. Celebrating 20 years of employee ownership. Save more now with our latest savings book at Buy Mart.
This summer, turn moments into lifelong memories with Broadmoor RV. Feel the thrill of adventure and the warmth of togetherness. Explore the great outdoors with the comfort of home, and let every adventure become a story worth sharing. Broadmoor RV. We make camping fun.
Drive into summer with a new Honda Accord Hybrid, CR-V Hybrid, or the all-new Civic Hybrid. Take a vacation, staycation, or just a weekend drive with the windows down. Whatever you do, make it epic with Honda. The 2024 Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com Best Overall EV and Hybrid Brand. So act now. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or hurry into the Honda Summer Event.
Okay, guys, we're all here because US Cellular has an incredible deal. Right now, you can get 4 lines for just $90.
Sorry, just double checking. Is it really that good of a deal?
Yeah, it's a huge deal. You also get 4 free phones of your choice.
4 free phones! Wow, I just triple checked and that's awesome.
So go get that deal. Or at least help me clip. Did you check the expiration dates?
Oh, I can do that.
Great.
Get 4 free phones of your choice with no trade-in needed, plus 4 lines for $90.
It only happens once a year. Steve Hunt Kia Summer Clearance Sale. So don't get stuck in the slush. Bring any trade, even if you owe thousands more than it's worth. Can take advantage of Steve Hunt All-Wheel Drive Sale. All with 0 down, 0 payments for 90 days. Steve Hunt Kia.com.
My name's Morgan, single mother of 3 with an IQ of 160.
We could use someone with your talents.
Me? Work with cops?
I see you brought your child to a crime scene.
A bitter rivalry is reborn in a high-stakes collision.
It's a battle for Sunshine State supremacy. Miami at Florida, Saturday at 3:30 p.m. Eastern on ABC.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Right now, temperatures in Kittitas County are in the 40s and 50s, 57 for Vantage, 46 for Ellensburg, 41 degrees for Cle Elum. And then for the Yakima Valley, we're seeing a mixture of 40s and 50s, 44 for Toppenish, 52 degrees for Union Gap. Then for the Lower Columbia Basin, it's also a mixture of 40s and 50s, 49 for Benton City, 50 for the Tri-Cities, 48 degrees for Boardman. And then for the foothills, looks like we're mostly in the 50s, 55 for Milton Freewater, but up into the higher terrain of the Blue Mountains proper, we're in the 30s and 40s for places like Meacham and Ukiah. Here's your hour by hour for today for the Tri-Cities. It's going to be, of course, light jacket stuff for this morning, but then it'll be t-shirt weather after that, as we'll have highs that'll end up reaching about 90 degrees. It's going to be that way for the Kittitas Valley, for the Yakima Valley, for the Basin, and for the foothills, as we should be a few degrees above average for this time of the year. Even hotter for Saturday and Sunday, a bit cooler by Monday, and at that point, our vegetation is going to be pretty dry. So remember, the 100th percentile would be the driest vegetation on record, so we're going to be up into the 86th percentile for Labor Day with some breezes in the forecast for Kittitas and Yakima counties. Up into the 80th percentile for the Lower Columbia Basin, also with some breezes in the forecast, but I'm most concerned about the Blue Mountains. Look at this, up into the 94th percentile with some lightning in the forecast. And so we'll track the fire start potential pretty closely, but I'll show you the heat that's going to result in numbers like this. That's going to be coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. Well, yes, it is almost the Labor Day weekend, and people hitting the road can expect a mixed bag.
Travel conditions are favorable as prices are down, but TSA is preparing for a busy travel day today across U.S. airports. And to complicate things even further, SeaTac International Airport is still recovering from last weekend's cyber attack.
Sherelle Hubbard has what travelers need to know before heading out.
Whether traveling by air or by car, millions of Americans have something to celebrate this holiday weekend: lower prices. AAA says overall it's seeing a 2% dip in the cost of domestic travel, and U.S. motorists can expect to pay less for gas. The national average gas price over Labor Day weekend last year was $3.81 per gallon. GasBuddy.com is predicting $3.27 a gallon for Labor Day this year, and people are taking advantage.
People are using their chance in summer to have one last trip at the end of summer.
So where is everyone headed? AAA says top Labor Day destinations are Seattle, Orlando, and Anchorage, Alaska. But travelers are being advised to pack their patience, especially in Seattle, where a cyber attack shut computer systems down Saturday. By Thursday, the airport was still trying to recover.
The biggest impact to passengers has been for those flying internationally and low-volume carriers. These carriers have not are not able to access our common use online systems during the outage and may still be utilizing manual written boarding passes and luggage checks. This has caused some longer lines for their customers.
Across all U.S. airports, the TSA is expecting an 8.5% increase in passenger volume compared to last year.
Overall, it has just been tremendous to see how many people want to travel.
I'm Sherelle Hubbard reporting.
And in Seattle, officials say they still don't have an estimate for when computer systems will be fully restored.
AAA officials project that today is going to be one of the busiest days, not only at airports, but on the roads. Their suggestion is to leave before noon or after 7 p.m. if you're hitting the roads.
Boeing's Starliner capsule is set to return to Earth next week, but without its two-person crew of Butch Wilmore and Sonny Williams. The spacecraft is set to undock from the International Space Station on September 6th. It will land around midnight in New Mexico's White Sands Space Harbor.
The spacecraft blasted off on June 5th and carried the two astronauts to the ISS, and the mission was expected to last only 8 days, but Starliner's return was delayed indefinitely because of issues plaguing the spacecraft. NASA announced over the weekend Williams and Wilmore will fly home aboard a SpaceX Crew Dragon capsule no earlier than February.
Up next on Good Morning Northwest, Fisher-Price is recalling a toy for infants because of a possible choking hazard. Details and more stories coming up in your morning sprint.
Plus, Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth will have your full weather forecast. Keep it here. We'll be right back.
Whoa, is this your new Nissan Rogue?
Yeah, crazy story. Yesterday, I was at the Nissan end of summer sales event taking a test drive, and Laura says,
"These Rogues are going fast."
I knew I had to have that Rogue.
Get up to $2,500 total savings on remaining select Rogue Platinum trims.
Hi, I'm Catherine Forner, and we love our own backyard so much, we built all of this.
With hardwood decking and Basilite pavers.
And we just finished this deck for one of our best customers.
With TimberTech decking and Fortress railing.
And we get everything we need from Par. With Shauna's help.
Everything from design to delivery.
What would we do without you?
Par, your total home building source since 1930. Go where the builders go.
What are you gonna build?
Our new orthopedic regenerative medicine clinic with Prosser Memorial Health orthopedic surgeon Dr. Jeffrey B. Higgs is now offering a variety of treatments, including platelet-rich plasma injections to enhance injury recovery, promote healing, and treat pain associated with early osteoarthritis. To schedule an appointment, call Prosser Orthopedic Center at 509-786-5599 or learn more at prosserhealth.org. This is how we care.
No Labor Day weekend plans? Whitman Hill Winery has you covered. Close out August on Whitman Pond Concert Series with a free performance from Gretchen Janover on August 31st at 6:30 p.m. Enjoy wine tasting, street tacos from Tacos Don Cheo, and the Traveling Book Bus Store from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. Space is limited. Reserve your spot with a free ticket on WhitmanHillWine.com. Hope to see you there.
Hear that? It's the sound of savings at your local Ford dealer. Get a sweet sounding deal on F-150, Bronco Sport, Explorer, and more. Hurry in today for the sound of savings, because a new Ford truck or SUV is calling your name. Just listen to this great offer. Lease a 2024 F-150 STX for $399 a month, or a Bronco Sport Big Bend for $369 a month, only at your local Ford dealer.
Whoa, is this your new Nissan Rogue?
Yeah, crazy story. Yesterday, I was at the Nissan end of summer sales event taking a test drive, and Laura says,
"These Rogues are going fast."
I knew I had to have that Rogue.
Get up to $2,500 total savings on remaining select Rogue Platinum trims.
Stacy Lee, Capkey View First Alert Weather. Watch tonight. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Right now you're taking a live, beautiful look at the Columbia River. This view coming courtesy of the Legends Casino and Hotel. Pretty clear skies out there for this morning. We're going to continue to have clear skies throughout the day. Plenty of sunshine, pretty good air quality, and highs will be a few degrees above average for this time of the year, as most of us will end up in the 90s, and winds should be pretty light for today. And then for tonight, we'll have overnight lows dropping off into the 50s and 60s, maybe a little bit milder compared to what we're dealing with for this morning. Clear skies, still good air quality, light winds, so very pleasant weather during the day and during the night. However, we trend even hotter as we head into Saturday and Sunday. By Sunday, we're going to be about 10 to 15 degrees above average for this time of the year. Lots of places within the lower Columbia Basin will get right around 100 degrees. And then into the rest of the week, or into next week, I should say, see, temperatures are going to hold tight in the 90s, at least within the Tri-Cities. So very hot and dry stuff. Very, very hot for Saturday and Sunday, which is why the National Weather Service in Pendleton has issued this heat advisory in place for the eastern slopes of the Cascades and the southern Blues on Sunday, but it's for Saturday and Sunday for the Kittitas and Yakima valleys, for the lower Columbia Basin, and for the foothills of the Blue Mountains. And given that we'll have so much hot and dry weather in the run-up to Labor Day, there's a little lightning chance in the Blue Mountains for Labor Day, and we'll track that fire start potential very closely. Another little shower chance for Tuesday. After that, looking pretty dry, but we continue to keep things pretty hot into next week. Here's the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Haze and heat increasing for Saturday, near 100 for Sunday, staying in the 90s after that. Then for Yakima, highs peaking in the mid-90s for Sunday, cooler with a small shower chance for Labor Day. Then for Ellensburg, near 100 for Sunday, cooler with breezes picking up for Monday and Tuesday. Then for Hermiston, likely hitting 100 for this weekend, low to mid-90s for Monday through Thursday. And then for Walla Walla, hot and dry through Sunday, cooling off with small shower chances for Monday and Tuesday.
Now, the morning sprint.
Time is 5:50. It's time for your morning sprint in our 5 o'clock hour.
We're going to take you right to your next hour, but first up, here are the top 5 local things you need to know this morning. The Kennewick Fire Department says no one was inside of an RV when it caught fire yesterday evening. It happened just before 7 p.m. at 117 South Washington Street. Crews got the fire under control within 9 minutes. No one was injured, and the cause of the fire is under investigation.
We have an update on the bus that landed in a Richland yard after taking down a traffic light Wednesday night. The Richland Police Department says the crash happened when the bus was hit by another car. RPD considers it a hit and run, but they were able to find and arrest the driver. The bus driver had minor cuts and shoulder pain after the crash. There were no passengers on board at the time.
The man accused in the killings of 4 University of Idaho students was back in court yesterday. Attorneys for Brian Kohberger are pushing to have his trial moved out of Latah County to Boise, Idaho. The defense says extensive media coverage has corrupted prospective jurors. The judge did not issue a ruling. The trial is set to begin in June of 2025. Kohberger has pleaded not guilty to 4 counts of first-degree murder.
The Natchez Fire Department has been selected to receive a FEMA grant for new air packs. The self-contained breathing apparatus are what allows firefighters to enter burning buildings in toxic environments. 2 other fire districts will also be granted funding, and the total grant award for all 3 districts is over $690,000.
The City of Pasco's annual Fiery Foods Festival is just around the corner, and there's a new challenge this year. There will be a taco eating contest to see who can eat the most tacos in 5 minutes. Registration will open next week. The city says spots are limited, though, and you have to be at least 18 years old to participate.
Turning to national news now, former President Donald Trump is trying to move his hush money case to federal court. In a petition filed yesterday, Trump's attorneys argued that he's entitled to a federal review in the wake of the Supreme Court's recent decision on presidential immunity.
They previously asked the judge to vacate the conviction, arguing evidence of a president's official acts should not have been used in the trial. In the new filing, Trump's legal team also asks the federal court to confirm Trump cannot be sentenced while litigation over the removal is pending. Trump is scheduled to be sentenced on September 18th.
The U.S. Army has released a statement regarding Trump's campaign stop at the Arlington National Cemetery, saying they were told that political activities are prohibited on the cemetery grounds. A spokesperson for the Army says a cemetery employee tried to stop Trump's team from filming in the area, but that he was, quote, pushed aside.
Now, Trump's campaign has denied this. However, the Army says the incident was reported to military police so that the employee is not pressing charges, so they consider the matter closed.
In your business headlines this morning, Elon Musk has stepped up his online attacks on a judge who's threatening to suspend X in Brazil. The judge threatened to suspend the social media platform if Musk does not appoint a new legal representative and settle any outstanding fines within 24 hours.
Musk lashed out on X, calling him an evil dictator. It's the latest in their months-long feud. It centers on arguments over free speech and alleged disinformation.
Labor Day travel is in full swing and conditions are favorable as prices are down. SeaTac Airport is still recovering from a cyber attack and travelers are still encouraged to print boarding passes at home to avoid long lines.
For domestic travel, GasBuddy is predicting $3.27 a gallon, whereas last year it was $3.81 a gallon. Across all U.S. airports, TSA is expecting an 8.5% increase in passenger volume compared to last year.
In your health headlines, inspectors found bugs and mold at a Boar's Head plant in Virginia, which has been linked to a massive deli meat recall. The contaminated meat has killed at least 9 people.
Reports show 69 non-compliances at the plant within the past year. Mold was spotted on doors next to hand washing sinks and also on the ceiling. Boar's Head says food safety is a priority and that it regrets the impact of the recall. Operations at the plant have been suspended.
Another recall to tell you about, Fisher-Price is recalling a dumbbell toy because of a possible choking hazard to infants. The company says the gray caps on the ends of the toy can come off, and this plastic dumbbell is part of the baby biceps gift set.
Fisher-Price received 7 reports of the defect, but no injuries were reported. The toy is sold at several major retailers, including Walmart and Target, and online.
In your sports news, Washington State is welcoming in Portland State for the season opener on Saturday. The Cougs won the last meeting back in 2021.
Jake Dickert is entering his 3rd season as head coach of the Cougars. He hasn't lost a season opener during his time in Pullman, and he's hoping to keep that streak alive. Kickoff is at noon on Saturday in Pullman.
The Paralympic Games are underway with thousands of athletes competing in 22 different sports, and a high-tech headset is helping some visually impaired spectators take in all the action.
The device, developed by a UK startup, manipulates the image to suit the individual needs of the person wearing it. The headset has already been used for other sporting events, including the 2024 Olympic Games, but it is a first for the Paralympics. Check this out. A working dog at San Francisco International Airport has been voted the Transportation Security Administration's cutest canine for 2024.
I didn't know they have those awards. Such a cutie. Well, meet Barney. Barney worked as a TSA passenger screening dog at the San Francisco International Airport with his handler, Michelle, and he's been working there since 2022.
Barney is a 5-year-old German short-haired pointer trained to sniff out explosive materials, and he sure looks adorable with those long floppy ears.
Now, just a reminder, TSA canines are working dogs and should only be touched by their handlers.
Such a cute.
I mean, sometimes you see airport workers come in with therapy dogs, and those ones
and then,
are meant to be
the
touched.
Portland airport has the therapy llamas.
That's right.
It would be so hard to resist, you know, touching one of those.
I know, but don't touch a dog that's working.
Yeah. Well, he does such an important job.
He really does. Up next on Good Morning Northwest at 6, Ben Franklin Transit has a new CEO, and we hear from him in just a few minutes on what he hopes to accomplish and the plans he has for the company.
Also, Tom Hanks is the latest actor to speak out over artificial intelligence. We have details in the next hour.
And we have heat advisories posted for this weekend. I'll tell you when and where, and also an update on the fires burning in our region. That's going to be coming up at 6.